full title of the study was A Feasibility Pilot Study of a Non-Pharmacological Intervention in At-Risk Youth. And non-pharmacological just means that there's no drugs. And it was funded by the Lawson Internal Research Fund, and it was approved by the Western Research Ethics Board. So who was involved in the study? Local youth were recruited from ages 16 to 25 who were either currently homeless or at risk of homelessness. And they also needed to be able to have sufficient hearing to follow verbal instructions and to be able to sit for at least 30 minutes and to training and follow-up sessions. Recruitment was done between 2016 and 2019 and was done through posters and information sessions. So we might ask, how do you know yes works? The study design was mixed methods, which is just a fancy way of saying collecting numbers and words. And we used a pre-post design as well, which just means looking at before and after the intervention. So you might ask, why would we do both words and numbers? So numbers help us quantify what we're studying and to make decisions. And the qualitative part will help us explore the participants' perspective of the intervention, and we can understand how youth respond to mental health treatments better. So in terms of the numbers, we looked at feasibility, which is our primary outcome, so the main thing that we were looking at. So the study was decided to be considered feasible if they met the recruitment target of 1 participant per week. And the other secondary outcomes that were looked at were measures of community integration, substance use, and mental health. And this was done by using scales, which are basically like a set of questions, and these were administered to the people doing the intervention at weeks 0, 4, and 8. And qualitative results were collected by conducting a focus group at week 8. And a focus group is just like an interview, and this had a set of questions to really get at how the people who did yes felt about it. Quantitative analysis is still ongoing, but so in terms of qualitative results, as I said before, a focus group was conducted, and the focus group interviews were recorded, and the recordings were used to find various themes that were presented across all the participants of yes. And so some of the themes that came up in the focus group were things that emphasized the importance of coordination. And we also found that people had a different response to yes. Some people found it underwhelming, and some people found it rewarding, and some people found benefits like improved emotional adaptability and resilience. And what we also found was that the way people experienced yes was influenced by their personal investment in the program. So how much were they practicing? How much were they thinking about it? It was also influenced by interpersonal dynamics. And this was by like the other people in the group. And they also found that it was influenced by like the facilitators. So the people who taught yes to them. And also in the focus groups, there were multiple suggestions about structure and ways to enhance the intervention. So now that we've gone over the results, you might be like, cool, so what? Where do we go from here? Well, the findings from this study will be used to design the next phase of research, which is a randomized control trial, which will investigate the effects of yes in a larger group of people, because one of the limitations of the study was that it only had about 39 participants. So by using what we have in a larger group of people, we can find out more about whether or not yes is actually helpful for youth. And of course, this is all in service of the larger goal, which is to improve youth mental health so that youth can continue to be the integral parts of our community that they are. And finally, I'd like to thank you for your time and attention.